Okay. Here we go. Maybe I did want to start from the beginning, but
It's
okay,
time.
we're here now. Look. Dope boy Elegante.
Heard about
I'm
it.
a fly Emirante. At least that when my shirt say August 21st, that's my birthday. That's a real nigga anniversary. I'm kinda nice with the wordplay. When people hate it, don't hurt me. Can't get rid of me like herpes. Two-stepping in the
Sheesh.
building. I ain't rocking no jewelry. Miss me with the buffoonery. I'm sick and tired of the security guard. Man, he is not cool with me. CT, let's jump him. I'm kidding, homie. I'm just playing. Unless you really wanna do it.
do it.
I think it's time we get to it. This is episode Deuce 4.
Yeah.
I'm a big dog like Cool Joe, Fat Boy Flow, call it sumo. Just a league, homie, yeah, you know. Kicking it like judo. You might want to keep it cool though, cause I pop eyes like blue though. Bars with it, we some stars with it. CT got a show coming August 13th to the 15th. You already know that dough's coming. We gonna be out in Detroit. We the hottest out, that is the point. Let's have another fire episode. Light it up like a G joint.
Hey.
Just Us League podcast. Hey, go ahead, knock it off there. Hey, man. Cause I pop eyes like Bluto. Come on.
That's what I was gonna reference.
You know the vibes.
Pop eyes like Bluto.
And it's Emirantes, man. Get it right.
Well, let's stop. You are Dope Boy,
I am. And
I
you
am
are who?
CT.
And this is another episode of.
the Justice League podcast. Now, here's the thing, brother. In order,
Okay.
the Popeyes line was so fire because you know the kids who are watching this that might be in their early 20s are like, what? I didn't know Popeyes had Bluto. Like they don't know. Bluto?
But the double entendre though, it's Popeyes, but then pop eyes.
Oh, you don't think I understood that? Next, your shirt Fly, and it also says Fly Emirates.
Who told you that?
First of all, brother, have you ever flown an airline?
I flown. This is an airline. I thought it was a soccer team. This is an airline like Southwest?
It perhaps might be a soccer team as well, but I know the airline, and the airline is the top of the line.
You think I'm? Wait, hold on. Do you?
That's how it says Fly Emirates.
Do you think I'm wearing a jersey for an airline? You think Adidas would make a jersey for an airline? What?
Yes, it's the most expensive airline on the planet.
This is a soccer team, nigga.
Okay, cool. Who's your other favorite soccer team? What's the since you want to flash on me?
I like the color scheme.
Now the color scheme is fire.
I don't know no other soccer teams.
I love how you hit me with the
Shut your
because the game was last week.
I can't even name you a soccer player. I don't know a soccer. David Beckham.
David Beckham. Remember
Whatever
Maya?
happened to him?
Maya. Her name was Maya something. She when we were like kids, she was a soccer player. She was
Rudolph.
killing it. No, that's SNL.
Yeah. I don't know. And then the messed up part about this, I wrote the bars before I got here, and I was like, calling out the security guard, and he was so cool today.
What happened?
So I got in the building, and so as soon as I seen him, as soon as I locked eyes with him, I'm just like, you.
Yeah.
So I just went and I was like, I'm going to just wait for CT to come because I didn't know who was engineering the session. I don't have Rashad's number. So I was like, I got my little turkey sandwich. So I just sat down.
Because that's what you need to start today.
So I was like, I'm sitting down. So I sit down there and I'm just eating my sandwich. He was like, hey, man, Anthony. I was just like,
oh, you know me.
and then I looked up at him. He was like, hey, man, you all clear, man. They got you on here. You good to go. And at first I wanted to be a jerk, but I was just like, thanks, brother. I said, hey, man, thank you, sir. I got up and gave him a little pound.
Oh, you gave him a pound too.
Hey, man, I reciprocate energy. So
you got to reciprocate it,
I couldn't
man.
be like, it's hard to be mean to somebody who's being nice to you. And for whatever reason.
I think he's seen the show. He's had to have.
Yeah.
He's
We
had
all
to have seen the show.
Yeah. And then probably went back and binge watched like, these niggas have been getting on me half the season.
He called you about it.
Anthony, he was so
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow. And I was just like, well, maybe he was just having bad days the other days. So,
No,
so
he saw the show. I will say the good news is the studio is moving in 2 weeks. So we don't even have to worry about him after the next 3 shows. But interestingly enough that happened to you, my entrance, because you said that, you were like, hey man, I was like, yo, is it the same jerk? And you were like, it is, but yo, he's so cool
He's
today.
cool.
I say,
You're like, nope.
nah,
Send the guy
send the
down.
engineer down for
So
me.
you still just walked past him?
Yeah. As soon as
Same-
I get to the door, my man opened the door for me. I walk straight past because I don't just reciprocate energy. I one up your energy. So if you're super nice to me, oh my God, I'm your best friend in the world.
You are.
If you are a jerk to me, I'm gonna flew back today.
Where'd you come from?
I went to New York for Akash Singh's birthday. I call him Kosh Kosh. We know him as Akash.
I call him Kosh.
No,
Kosh.
brother. I call him Kosh Kosh. How dare you say you call? You know that you're lying.
I've been calling him Kosh Kosh for the last few weeks. Behind your back, no doubt. I had told you to the
No
day.
doubt, bro. I fly to Kosh's his wedding, right? Oh, brother. First and foremost, did not realize how famous Akash was.
He's out here.
Did not realize how, because
it happens really sudden too,
bro. It's like with all of our friends, we're all extremely blessed, very fortunate to have fan bases, and doing well. I don't be realizing each of everybody's successes.
It ain't the same.
Bro,
Kosh, it ain't the same Kosh Kosh.
It's the same Kosh Kosh,
but the world now knows.
Yes. So it's, bro, first and foremost, let me just say this about the Indian community. Love and respect. These MFers know how to party, bro.
Really? Tell me about it.
Bro, so we get there. If you don't, this was a Sikh wedding.
Okay.
Right? So in the Indian community, it's Sikh and blanket on the other one, wedding-wise, where you got to dress a certain way. You also, they get married for days. It's not like a regular American wedding where you like, hey, we're doing the rehearsal dinner, then we get married. Bro.
It's like those chicks that have, this is my birthday month. Like those.
But your birthday was in January. It's May, and we still turn that out. All right, I'll be there. Bro, they get married for days, right? So it's like event after event after event after event.
Okay.
And it was so amazing because Akash has been my only Indian friend, right? Like, Russell Peters is the homie, but like...
Yeah, but you was in the trenches with
Yes,
Kosh
he's
Kosh.
like, he's family. Like, I look at him like a brother.
Right.
To see him around his people was amazing. It's like, it's such a beautiful culture. I'll show you some pictures and stuff.
I gotta see that.
Bro, I was so happy for him. His bride was amazing.
Man.
They danced. It was crazy. The food. I don't know if you've
Talk
had
to me
Indian
about
food.
that. I wish you would have led with that. Talk to me about what was going on there.
Brother, the Indian food is delicious and healthy.
Really?
Who knew?
So you had no guilt?
Bro, no guilt. Because you ain't eating nothing ridiculous. It's like deliciousness, bro. Everybody, like, if you were there, you were family.
And they,
it didn't matter what race
seasoned
you
their
were.
food real good too.
Oh my God.
You can
The first
smell-
thing Akash said to me, he was like, I'm sorry about the lack of black people. Because it was like me and like 6 other black people. And I'm like, hey, man,
I
this
was
your
supposed
win.
to go, man. I had some other things going on. I had something was going on with my account. There wasn't enough money in there to buy some of this stuff. Listen, man, I'm a real nigga, man. But I called him
I
and kept
had
it
some
up.
stuff going on.
Because you know what niggas be saying. I had some stuff in my account. No, nigga, it just wasn't in the budget.
It was, hey, I respect
it was real. You know what I'm saying? But I called him and told him. So he, it was that.
Kosh ain't tripping.
He ain't tripping.
First of all, nobody can trip when they're having a wedding across the country.
Yeah, I'm like, if it was on Slauson, I'd have been there.
Of course, let me tell you something. There are only 2 more people that I would fly across the country for.
Bruh.
And the fact that I flew for Akash lets you know I love
That's
this
the
brother.
bro, man.
But yeah, man, it was fire. Oh, anyway, so I'm flying back.
Right. Uh-oh, did somebody tick you off?
I'm coming through TSA. Right. Now, I, contrary to belief, I am not a confrontational cat.
Not at
I
all.
return the energy, but I am a really cool, respectable dude. We're going through security, and we're TSA pre.
Okay, wait. Are you in New York?
Jersey.
Okay, so you're coming from Jersey back to LA.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so you're there at Jersey International. Whatever.
Right.
Okay.
So we're coming through, and there are lines, and then they get the pre-TSA line. TSA line is crazy long. I'm like, man, all right, it's just one of those days. Whatever, we're waiting in line. We get to the front of it, and we see a guy going through, and you gotta have all your stuff on a belt, right? So the guy is like, hey, are you TSA? He's like, yes. He's like, where's your pass? He's like, oh, he's like, just take your shoes off. And he's like, okay, he takes his shoes off. I'm prepared. I'm like, okay, cool. So I just need to tell this guy that it's TSA because apparently the line is jumbled. Nobody said anything.
And you've seen him do this with a person, so now you know what's going on.
Right. I say, before it's one more than me. I say, hey, man, I'm TSA. Do I need to show you this? He's like, you're good. I was like, okay, cool. Set my phone on the thing. The young lady says, hey, set all your electronics here. I was like, cool. It's time for me to go through. Now the guy's like, yeah, where's your TSA thing? I was like, oh, it's on my phone. It's going through the conveyor belt right now. I can just grab it. And he was like, no, just take your shoes off. I said, this is TSA pre, right, bro? Like I just told you, you know, what's going. So while I'm saying this to him, I'm in the middle of this sentence. Black guy, black, to the left. hey man, come on, keep the. And I was like, hey, I'm just telling them about this. I don't need to hear telling them about nothing. Speed this up.
Oh.
I say, I do my hands like this. I say, brother, I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just telling you. He's like, ain't no disrespect. Just get back in the line. And I was like,
jeez. And this is in front of everybody.
I say, I'm TSA. I'm just wondering, was this a confusion thing? Is everything go? We don't. And they start yelling. Then I start yelling.
Uh-oh.
And now when I'm yelling, you're not gonna calm me down, right? So, and this is why I tell people, don't complain to customer service.
Right.
When you're in a grocery store, you in a Walgreens, whatever, don't complain to the employee's manager, because this is what happens. You complain to the manager. The manager says, oh, okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, it's me.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll handle this. You leave. Hey, what was up with that customer? I don't know, man. Don't worry about it. Throws the complaint away. That's what happens. So just don't complain unless you end up going to corporate.
Right.
But it's just pointless.
Right.
So I'm having this conversation with this guy. We're arguing, but we're literally screaming back and forth at each other at TSA. Because I respect all TSA, but this guy's out of control.
I don't know if I've ever even seen you yell at another person, and I've known you over a decade.
I'm screaming at this point, bro, because it's the disrespect. It's like you're interrupting me, right? Okay. So this is happening. And then he says the thing that everybody thinks is scary. Hey, man, this comes off. I say, this does too. What are we talking about?
He said, this comes off?
This comes off. This is going to be a lack of monetization. I said, bring your bitch ass over here and let's go. Since it comes off, because this comes off, fam.
You invited him to trade heads?
Bro, because here's the thing. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how lawsuits work. Let me tell you how lawsuits work. Lawsuits work with a situation like that. He has to hit me first. Because if I hit him first, not only am I going to jail, I could be sued. He hits me first. First of all, I'm not going to sue you, but now I just covered myself. This is the kind of fair dude I am. You want to... This is how fair I am, though, boy. Let's fight in the break room of yours where there are no cameras. If I lose, I lose. I'll apologize that this even happened. But when you lose, I need you to go out in front of these exact same people. Go grab the people from the gate and say, hey, guys, I'm sorry I disrespected this man. But let's do it with no cameras around, because I don't want you to feel
that's grown man stuff.
We're adults. Because now I've tried to speak to you respectfully. You don't like that. Let's just trade hands,
This is what
bro.
you want.
Come on, man. So he doesn't move. And he's a big guy, too. He's a big guy. This is going to be a gladiator battle.
Because you ain't no pushover.
I'm not.
I seen the gun show out here today.
You're hilarious. So I'm like, let's go. And he's like, this come. I'm like, this does too. We're taking stuff off. Let me tell you something, brother. We both going to be winded. Okay. However, you're going to be winded before me.
A hot 45 seconds.
Come on. All I need is 36. If I can't get you down to 36, we don't need to be fighting. You understand what I'm saying? So that happens.
Did any of the other workers like try to intervene?
Thank you.
Okay.
So that happens. Guy comes out and he's like, hey, do we have a problem here? I was like, talk to him. He's the one with the problem. He's like, I talk to him every day. I say, listen, man. Okay, cool. Because I see where this is about to go. Got you. So I'm like, whatever, man. I grab my stuff and I'm walking. Then another dude comes out. Nothing is being said at this point. Another dude comes out. He's like, yeah, man, just walk away. I'm like, brother, this isn't involving you, man.
Right. You don't even got to say nothing.
This is not, you know what I mean? This is
Mind
he and
your
I.
business.
We're done. You know what I mean? Okay. And I'm like, and this dude is shrimpy. He's a mouse dude. And I'm like, you just want some action.
Right. You don't even deserve to be talking to me like this. You get knocked out fast.
Exactly. And at this point, after telling the story, because I know how people receive things, I don't care who think I'm wrong, who think I'm right. Just know I have love for nothing. I have love for all of TSA. But brother in Jersey, we're gonna see each other again. We're gonna see each other again. I'll just say that.
But no, that was a great way to handle that. I'm glad you didn't end up getting into fisticuffs there, because you don't ever want to be getting into a fight at an airport. It's just
there are too many consequences.
Right.
And I think of everything while I'm going into it, and that's why I say they have to hit you first.
Right.
The first thing that I could be is admitted to the no-fly list. The second thing I could do is be charged with a felony for assault. The next thing I could do, I could be sued. Like, all of these things are going against me if I hit him first.
But as a man, you just like, but nigga, if I don't,
bro,
bring your bitch ass over.
Because my thing is like, bro, let's just go where no cameras are. Because the conversation is going to be, I don't want a crowd around. Me and you have this issue.
That's gangster talk. That's real man stuff.
Let's fight.
But you won the confrontation. You do know that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you told him, bring your bitch ass over. Now, once you say that to another man, he got to do something.
He literally said, hey, you dropping that B and that in. And I say, the bitch and the nigga, let's go.
Let's go, right. So you won right there, because once those words come out, If a nigga don't charge you, then shut up. You just
because
got called.
if you were going to do something, talk would be. I've been in situations where I've hit the ramp up like, "Hey man," and the dude come up to you and you're like,
"Yeah, man, let's just talk about it."
You know
brother.
what I'm saying? So I knew he wasn't about anything, and it's like I'm not trying to disrespect your workspace, bro, but man, as much as you guys go through, understand that communication is both ways, and just as stressed as you guys get, we are as well. Let's just come to a common respectability. It never needs to go that far.
Absolutely. And one thing I will say too as a caveat, first of all, you were right in that situation. I don't see you as
man.
wrong at all. But what I have noticed when I am in New York and New Jersey, a lot of times that energy that you're kind of talking about, I see it a lot, but I don't think that they see it as disrespect. They just see it as like that's how they talk a lot of the time.
Yes and no. New York, nothing but love. TSA, all those guys,
But
extremely cool. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, just that aggressive, like,
yo, what's good? Like,
fast,
but they're not like that there. And this was the thing that made me angry. Believe it or not, it wasn't even that situation. This is what made me angry. Doughboy asked me before I go, he said, "Hey man, give me a magnet from Jersey. I don't have one." I say, "Done." Right? After the confrontation with my man, I go to the gift shop area. All they have is New York keychains. No even magnets. And I was like, come on, Jersey.
But thank you for even thinking of me still.
Yeah, man.
Yo, I wanted to, okay, so let me tell you about my weekend and
Please,
what happened.
because you wrote something that was hilarious.
Bro, okay, so I want to talk about this first. Side note, I know it's 2021, but when's the last time you've been around somebody that was musty or tart? Musty or tart, like when it's like spicy. Like, have you ever been?
You out of control.
Have you been around somebody like this?
You out of control.
Okay, this is what's happening, bro. I was around a musty couple.
A couple?
A couple, and it bothered me because first of all, how do you not know?
Yeah.
You stink. Yeah. Like it was like protrusive. So it's like we're at this, this little bit. I don't want to even say what type of place I'm at because I don't know if they're fans and I don't listen. So they were I was at a place with a lot of people, right? You know how somebody walk past you and you get a whiff of the hey. Oof. I was just like, whoo. So I caught it first from bruh.
Did somebody push me?
So first I was just like, he's spicy out here. Like, bruh, disrespectful around the nostrils. But I'm just like, whatever it is, what it is. And like, he's one of them dudes that like, when once they see that they know, oh, no. And now you want to go, I'm just like.
He raised the arm.
Yes. And it's just like, you stink. But I'm trying to be cool because, this is my first time. And then, this is the wild part. Then his girl His girl is bad. Bad. Like, super bad. So I'm like, how does stinking ass nigga get her?
You about to find out?
She come up and she stink too. I'm like, wait, how you y'all having stink sex? Like, it just bothered me so much. Like,
they can't smell it.
Yeah. Do you? So okay, this is. I want to know, where did their funk? Who had it first? Like, who
Good
do you
question.
think? Who had the funk first and whom passed it to whom?
Well, what you got to remember is when the funk hits the fan, all the people in the jam. You got to get funky.
Because I'm like, either one or two things happen. Either she was funky and he was like, well, she just so fine.
She's so bad.
Or either he was funky and she was like, that stroke is worth it. And then I think once you funky and the other person gets it, you just gonna have to be funky together. They are a funky, and I'm like, they gotta know.
They don't. I'm gonna tell you why. One, they might be smokers, and people who smoke often don't have super strong sensibility to smell, and that could be cigarettes, that could be heavy weed, to where they don't smell it. Two, their hygiene both could be trash, and they found their soulmate.
They were sick of getting told to go touch some water. You was gonna leave without touching no water. Man, leave me alone to get out my business. So it was just they found somebody that was just cool with his showers.
What did you do then?
Nothing. I just had to just be around it. I could, because I'm super non-confrontational. I was around them for about 45 minutes to an hour. It felt like a year. And there was just nothing I could do.
Where was Tony?
Huh? No, I was by myself. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't even with her. I was just around the homies. And then, like, even the homies started to realize. So we started giving, like, they funky eye contact. Like, nigga, this is really happening. So everyone knew. It was a whole thing. It just ruined. What? It put a stink in my whole weekend.
No pun intended. Wow.
Bro, it was a wild thing.
The couple?
The couple from, they just stunk, bro.
Do I know them?
Huh?
Do I know them?
No. There's no way you can. But, bro, I don't even want to imagine what that room smells like when they smashing. Like that.
Greens and coleslaw.
They probably gonna make a little funky baby too. You'll be like, little funky.
Why is he crying? Because he smells himself? Or because he smells?
I was just like, y'all, so please, it's too hot to be in LA. smelling like that. So yeah, that was
Bro, also, let me give the people something, man. Mitchum deodorant is, this is what their slogan says, is so effective you can skip a day. It's strong.
But do that. I'd rather you do that than try to put some cologne over the funk.
I hate when people
There
put
is
cologne.
nothing worse than cologne over funk.
Or
ladies,
body spray.
Oh, ladies, Bath and Body Works. Don't think cucumber and papaya is gonna mix. No, we just, bro.
That fruit patch has soured.
I'm really sensitive to smell, bro.
Same.
Like it makes me nauseous. I was just like, boy, you stinky people.
And it's a man and a woman.
Bro. And I was just thinking like, y'all gotta know. If I get around them again, I may just have to slip a bar of Dove soap in their
Let me tell you
hoodies.
something. Tangerine and I have a couple of friends, and we know that one of them always smells.
Funky friend?
And every time we know that this friend is funky, we tell the friend. We don't just not tell
You
the
tell the
friend
friend
like,
they
hey,
funky? How-
you out here wild.
How do
You need to start eating some vegetables.
it's sleeping out of your boys?
Sleeping out your boy. And then we'd be like, yo, how do girls not smell this guy?
That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like how, because he had a bad chick, and I'm just like, how do you not, or how are y'all giving that the pass? And sometimes I noticed it with super earthy people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the instance, bro. Like
that
sometimes,
stuff run out.
yeah, they be like, oh man, just black stuff. Nah. Like, no, it don't got to be a quality of soap. Just get some regular. Stop that, nigga. You stink, nigga. You stink. I was just mad because they was thinking. Oh, before we go any further, let me get this out the way. New nickname alert. Don't want. I was excited for this.
It hit me like a bullet. I was like, oh yeah, here we go. All right.
New nickname alert.
All right.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson. Why do they call you Dwayne Johnson?
Because once me and a chick make a movie, she gonna want me to put The Rock on it. Come on, man, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
No, you had it.
The Rock.
We got to fix this.
Make a movie.
Once we make a movie.
She gonna want me to put The Rock on it.
No. He was like, they call me Dwayne Johnson. Because as soon as I get her home, I'm giving her The Rock.
Oh, Jesus.
It's simple as
I was
best
gonna
sometimes.
do that. I was gonna say that. And I was gonna say that she would want me to be her Rock, but I was like, no, you gotta keep it.
That's
The
cool
Rock.
too.
The wordplay killed me.
Man, but it's still beautiful,
Dwayne
man.
Johnson still works.
Dwayne.
Side note, I got
Wait. They call me Dwayne Johnson because when I get her home, I'm giving her The Rock, and it might be Fast and Furious.
Oh,
But if she,
it might be Fast and Furious.
but when I get done, she gonna be doomed.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I gotta start writing these with you, man. Stop trying to surprise you. How's everything else? Everything else in life is good? Your mental health is good today?
You know what? My mental, it was just, yeah, oh my God. Yes, I am amazing. Love my mama. My mama always.
Shout out to Mama
Like,
CT.
let me tell you, man, my mom is so dope. And I said this a little bit last show, but I want to expound upon it. My mom don't be talking about nothing.
Let's start there.
Nothing. But I love hearing her talk about nothing. Like whatever is going on with her, it's like, man, this is great. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so okay. I miss when my dad was talking about nothing.
Right.
And I would just hear him, ain't nothing going on but the damn rent. I'll tell you that. And it's just I miss that. So I
It's
love
catchphrases,
talking to my
right.
mom, man. And she reminded me the thing that you're really good at about being on time and early. She's always been that. My dad used to be that. I'm not gonna be early,
Right, but you'll get
but
there on
I'm
time.
never gonna be late.
Right.
I'm not showing up 30 minutes to a job. Nah, fam.
Nigga, why?
I'm here. You said 8 to 5. I'm here at 7:59.
No, man, that's definitely good. And you should definitely appreciate that you have that dope relationship with your mom.
She's
Because
the
I don't
best.
talk to either one of my parents like that. Like, I think I've talked to my mom like twice this year.
You're so lovable of a guy. That's so interesting
Shout
to
out
me.
to them. Like, I'll just be like, I don't know that much thing.
Maybe that's why you're lovable, because
I
you come from the opposite of that.
Possibly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because like, I be wanting to talk to them and like they're both healthy. They both in Sacramento.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I don't know if that's my pride or whatever, but I'd be like, man, let me want to talk to them. And I would love to hear my mom talk about nothing. But
Why don't you talk? I know why you don't talk to your dad. Why don't you talk to your mom?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think we have a family that is just, it's just one of them families where you just fall out with people. Not even necessarily fall out, just the relationship just don't be tight like that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
And I figured out through, just self-awareness that's why I act like that in a lot of my other relationships
Like
in
what?
life. Like I always am just trying to get people to stay or, just overcompensating because I'm just like, oh man, I'm cool, man. Just stay, man. I'm all right, man. And I think that it comes from whatever I'm lacking in my regular family.
Man, listen, man, that makes a lot of sense. Let me tell you something about people. People be dying, bro.
They do.
People be dying.
Every day,
you have
apparently.
to talk. You don't have to do anything. You're an adult, but man, you be surprised because we get so hung up on the thing that we fell out with people over. We was like, I ain't talking to them.
But see,
right?
let me show you something. I'm gonna hand you something because I'm gonna do this. Of course, they won't be able to see it.
Yeah.
This be my fear. So I'm gonna show you this because you know the person that I sent this to, right?
Okay.
And then I want you to see this is why I don't reach out to people
All right.
sometimes because I'm always in fear of things like this.
Uh-oh.
So with this person, you know this person.
All right.
You know how I know this person. You introduced me to this person.
Okay.
Okay. We had a falling out a few years ago.
All right.
Talked to this person maybe a year ago, tried to make amends. It was like, hey, thanks for your apology, but
yeah.
So then I sent this. Then I sent this. Read that. And then you can tell why I'll be feeling like I'll be feeling.
I'm not gonna. You don't say their names. Don't read it out loud. Okay.
Don't read what I said.
Because you still got to get people something.
Yeah,
you don't want
So and that's why I don't reach out to my mama, because there's nothing worse than that response. That's that
scene.
I saw it. So yeah, all right. There was nothing.
What would have been worse if he just hearted it? You double tap that. Take care of yourself.
Who came up with the scene in the red receipt? Because that's just enough to let a person know. Yeah, I seen it. I just ain't got. So that's why I think I don't. Because it's always a fear of something like that. Like even if I try to fix things, because you told me to reach out to somebody else.
Yeah,
and I didn't.
Well, here's what you're doing. You're letting one situation affect the other because you think it's going to be the exact same circumstance, which your fear is warranted in that regard, but not in every regard. So with that situation, I need you to look at the positive side. It's seen.
Right.
I can promise you there are some people who've been in the life of CT that it won't even be seen. It'll be message from this person. I'm like, delete. What are we doing? Why are you talking to your boy? You know what I mean?
Right.
So that a scene can mean a number of things. A scene can be.
I left out a caveat.
Okay.
They had just recently followed me. Recently, out the blue.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh.
Yep.
And then I was just like,
nope. So I'm glad that the scene happened because that person, not defending him, I have no dog in this fight. That person always has a million things going on. Right. And that was a long one that you wrote.
You be telling me about the long ones.
Woo, I be telling you. Because Doughboy will send you the longest message and I'll be like, nigga, call me. Just call me, right? That was a long one.
Right.
And like you said, that person followed you out of nowhere. And you were like, oh, cool. Let me send this soliloquy. And as soon as you send it, they leave you on scene. Now that could be like, wow, I don't even know what to say.
Right.
I've had those before where somebody sent me such a long thing and I've been like, I don't know what to say.
So you just
let me regroup.
Process it.
Yeah, process it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I did feel good for at least just being like, hey, like maybe this gives a little bit, because you read what I said, like maybe this gives a little bit more clarity. Yeah. Not trying to make excuses, but this is what it is.
And think about it like this, man. Like I always tell you, it ain't gonna never be on me. Right. If I say, hey, Doughboy, let's go hang out tomorrow, you be like, cool, hit me tonight at 7. I'm going to hit you tonight at 7. So when you see the phone and you didn't pick up or whatever, I hit you.
Right.
So it's not on me. So what you did, you took it off you.
Right.
Hey, fam.
This is what it is.
I love you.
Right.
Hope all is well. Got it off me. Now, from this point on, it's on you. So now you have no weight on you.
Yeah, and maybe one of these days I'll reach out to my mama. I don't know. Pops probably just
Well, let me tell you something.
Five
Leave your
star.
daddy alone.
We both just square up.
But your
Just tell me.
mom,
Right.
like, there's nothing like a mom. And I'm not
I
pushing
love my mom. Me and mom's is cool.
I'm not pushing my relationship on anybody because I understand that there are some people with some not so good moms. Like I used to hear stories when I was a kid. I come to school, like, you know, clean clothes, lunch, smiling, talk about something me and my mama did. You know what I mean? And another kid be like, yeah, well, I ain't seen my mom in 3 days. I'm like, oh, is she at work? They're like, no, she left us.
Nigga hit you with the bullshit. Nigga think you all that because his mom love him. Like, wait, what?
Yours doesn't love you. And that happened so much that I stopped bragging about my mom. And then I had to get back to bragging to my mom because I'm like, it's not my fault that, you know, your parents didn't love you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about other kids. Yeah. So always at least keep it off you.
Right.
And two, there's nothing like a mom. And whatever that relationship might be for you, like my dad and I were always tight my whole life, but I wasn't as vocal and honest to him like I am to my mother because my mom was the one in the house. Right. So my dad got the truth and the real me later on in life. He got a side of me that I could never show my mom. Right. Because I'm reckless with the mouth. And I probably got it from my mom by, you know, talking.
Exactly. And that's what I feel like me and Kiara's relationship is. And that's the dope thing that I do love is that I feel
She's
like
a twin.
Yeah, thank you. And I feel like I'm reversing trauma because, you know, I never had a close relationship really with my mom or my dad, but I have a really close relationship with Kiara. So I at least can feel some level of pride. Like, okay, this might have happened to me, but I worked really hard to have, you know what I'm saying, a dope relationship with Kiara, and I'm glad that, you know.
Let me tell you something about Kiara, man. She is a little girl that loves her daddy.
Man, I love that little girl.
Bro, do you understand? Because your daughter lives with you.
Yeah.
We've talked about this day since she was like 4.
Exactly.
Where I was like, hey, listen, man. Because you're like, man, I'm down here in L.A., man. I just feel bad. I ain't up there with my little girl, man. You know, she with her mom, and her mom was good, but it's like, I'm not there. I said, no, boy. There's going to come a day where she's going to say, I want my daddy.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to be able to stop that. Exactly. And you're like, man, I hear you, but.
Let me ask you
And here
this.
we are.
Let me ask you this because Tony seems to think that I'm way too overprotective. I want you to tell me if I'm doing too much in this situation. So, you know, I'm finally starting to get to the point with Kiara where I'm letting her go. She has little friends and stuff, you know, whatever. So she has one of her homegirls. They're like super dope, you know, super, you know, friends. So she's like, hey, Dad.
Is this the signal for super dope, super friends?
Yeah, super friends.
Okay.
I don't know.
What is this?
You know,
Shaking salt.
It's her homegirl, Kennedy, right? So she always kicks it with Kennedy. So she's like, Dad, can I go over to Kennedy's house? We're going to hang. I'm like, all right, cool, because that's one person. I've met her parents. You know, her dad's cool, mom's cool. All good. So I'm like, when you're going over there, I ain't tripping. So I'm like, well, what are you guys going to do? She's like, oh, we're going to hang out. We're going to do some TikToks. We're going to play video games. We might go to the mall. Now, mind you, her friend drives, but whenever her friend drives, one of the parents there, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So I'm thinking you're going to the mall, da-da-da-da. All good. Whoop-de-whoop. All right, cool. So I go and drop her off. She's like, yeah, we're probably going to watch the Conor McGregor fight later that night.
She's 15.
15.
Okay.
Right. So I drop her off. Boom. So, you know, so maybe an hour later, I text her, how's it going? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just checking in on her, whatever. So she's like, Dad, I just left her, da-da-da. So then she's like, so she FaceTimes me and she's walking. I'm like, hey, where are you going? She's like, oh, we're going over to this little, you know, this little place, you know what I'm saying? The little NoHo West thing or whatever. And so she's like, yeah, but they were walking. And so now I'm like, okay, I'm like, you guys are walking? And so she's like, yeah. I said, well, you know, you guys didn't get dropped off. She's like, no, her mom left, so we're just walking. So I'm like, okay, well, if you want me to come pick you up and take you guys home, take you guys back over there, I will. She was like, oh, okay, cool. So I waited about 30 minutes. I called her back and said, hey, when you guys are done, I'll come and take you guys home. So then I just went up to the place where they were at. I waited in the parking lot. I didn't rush them or nothing. When she called me, hey, you know, had her come hop in the car, then I took them back. Tony was just like, you're just too overprotective. You need to let her be a kid. They wanted to walk. Da-da-da. I'm like, no, they were walking. Am I too overprotective in that sense?
Let me tell you something, brother. Trafficking exists. So no, you're not overprotective. Okay. As soon as you said walking, I was like,
exactly. And so she was like, and even though it wasn't even a mile, I'm still like, I don't want my kid walking down the street. No. You know what I mean? So thank you for validating that I'm not tripping.
It's a different world, bro.
It is.
When I was a kid, when you were a kid, a lot of these same things existed, but we didn't know about them like we know now because of, you know, the world. Brother, if I were to have a daughter, I can't say I'd be different because I've been a teenage boy. I've been,
Bruh.
you know what I'm saying, a child of parents where it's like, yeah, ma, we just playing Nintendo.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know.
I'll talk to you.
You know the vibes, and that's
What
what.
a hoes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So what you did is very dope that you would even be like, yo, let me pick y'all up because there are two girls.
Right.
And I will say, for your mental and for her safety, get her a knife.
Oh yeah,
Get her a
I'm
little-
signing up.
A little.
No, they got this keychain that has everything on it. It has like pepper spray. It has like a bunch of different. Because I'm always thinking about that. Like, man,
You needed to have this stuff readily available, but I'm gonna tell you why.
Uh-huh.
A keychain. Hey, tell me, give me your money.
Give me your money.
Man, hold on.
Where's the thing at?
Give me a second. I can just,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Get her things where it's just like, when this person's walking up to me, I'm in my back pocket with it. Huh? What? Where's what?
Mm-hmm.
Safety off, pepper spray.
Exactly. Oh, she already got the pepper spray. Yeah.
That's the switchblade.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
That's the sound.
That's the.
Let's get to the CTW, man. So
No CTW this
no
week. I'm tell you
CTW
why.
this week. Okay.
I'm in the comments on my page, your page. So much love.
We getting a lot of love.
So much love. I'm like, it would be a disservice to any of these people if I'm like, let me choose 3 to 5 comments.
People were saying, like, people had put us in their list of their top 5 podcasts. I was like, this is wild because, bro, we're not even 30 eps in.
No.
We're not even 25 in. So anybody that's out there is Team CT donation, man. We appreciate you 100%.
So much.
I got something in lieu of that then.
Okay.
Remember when I told you guys that last week that the young lady had sent me that video?
Yeah.
And I felt a certain type of way.
Yeah.
People chewed me a new one.
Oh, they did. I read
In the
that.
comments, they
Yeah.
were like, you was tripping and you can't be like that because you want us to support you. She was probably coming from a positive place. So I hit her back and I want to let you hear what I said to her.
Okay. Put it on
So,
the mic.
okay.
Or did you
No, I
voice or you
no,
text?
no, I texted.
Oh, okay.
So she had sent me the video, and in her text she had said this. I know that was random because she had sent me the video of the dude working out. She said, I
Yeah.
know that was random, laughing face emoji. I didn't think you see it, but I thought you could use it as motivation. If he can do it, you definitely can too. We're rooting for you. That's what she said. And I was hurt. Yeah. And I was
You'd already done it.
Right. So, but I was hurt over that, right? And then so I went back and I said to her, I said, I owe you an apology. I took offense to this DM. I felt attacked when clearly you were trying to inspire me. I'm sorry for being so sensitive. I'm working on that. Thank you for trying to motivate me. I will get out of my feelings and back into that gym. She hit me back and said, good morning. Oh no, I'm sorry if that offended you. That was not my intention at all. I guess I just saw it and got inspired. I know weight loss is hard and a long journey, so I wanted you to see someone do it and know that you can do it too. The mind is a very powerful thing. We can do anything we put our mind to. So again, I apologize if it seemed insensitive.
That's amazing. I want to applaud that sister for giving you the love and being clear and for you saying that. But I do want to fault one thing that you said. Just because you have a reaction to something doesn't mean that you're in your feelings or being sensitive. You are an adult, bro. You are entitled to react a certain way. And just because you react a certain way doesn't mean you're sensitive. You're not crying about something. You're not in your feelings.
Being a bitch.
Yeah. It's like, it's like, hey man, you drank my water. Oh, what is he crying about now?
Right.
He drank my water. You know what I mean?
And it's my water.
Like, you have a right to feel a way that you feel. I think so many people get it messed up because they're trying to tell you how you should feel because of how they would have felt in a situation. Nobody's been through what you've been through, so nobody can comment on what you're going through. And as far as the weight loss thing, man, you look great. You've been doing your thing. And if you feel triggered by somebody sending you something, because what you saw in that video that she sent you was a guy with a lot of skin.
Right.
That's what nobody's talking about.
Exactly.
It was a lot of
and you
skin.
already know I'm sensitive about that too.
Exactly.
And with the weight thing, man, I've been realizing I have to just look at it with a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like with the weight that I'm at, like, you know what I'm saying? I was on a scale, man. I'm about 285, man. Close to 290, right?
You know what you're not?
What?
450.
486 was at the max.
Okay,
But I hear what you're saying. Get it right. Yeah. But this is the thing, right? I have to start looking at weight loss as not such a straightforward path, but more linear, because there are a lot of layers of things that are going on here. Number one, I just got sober. Number two, I just got on some medicine that helps me
baby
with
steps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just got on some medicine that the doctors told me, we're putting you on 3 meds. They're all going to make you gain weight. But, like I struggled so much with my weight my entire life. I'm always sensitive about it. So like, when the clothes start fitting different, and it's just like, man, and then it starts to take me back to where I was for so many years of my life when I was worried about that. And then for the last couple years, the weight wasn't something I was worried. So now it's kind of like just unearthing things. But I had to just be like, no, be easier on yourself. It's fine. Who cares?
Let me tell you something.
You're
about
a much better specimen of yourself right
Skinny
now.
Dope Boy. Skinny Dope Boy. You were literally Buddy Love, bro.
Oh, come on. Bro.
You were Buddy Love,
listen,
fam.
Bro,
I had never seen that side of you before. And okay, for those who Buddy Love, Nutty Professor 1. He was Sherman Klump. He's so friendly. Hey, everybody, Hercules, all of that. And then he got the formula. He was skinny. Ooh. And what it did to his brain was change his chemistry to where now he was more cocky, more confident. He was in with the ladies.
Bitter at all the women that wouldn't give me a shot when I was big. It was, I
You were Buddy.
I was a lot.
Love.
I was a lot even for myself. I look back at some of those moments like, nigga, you was wild.
You know what it was? You had got everything that you wanted physically and all the things that people loved about you and that you loved about yourself, you put on the back burner because you were like, all right, I'm a different person, so I'm going to be a different person. And it was like, I laughed because I'm like, dope boy. You can't say that. You were like, I can't say what?
Fuck these hoes.
Never mind. But it's understandable. You go through a metamorphosis. But who you are now is the dope boy that people love, and you're still small. So it's like you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I'm loving it, man. I'm just and I'm settling in with this medicine, man. So it's just one day at a time.
You're like the Hulk. You haven't had an incident, and
I haven't. That's what you think when that pulling out that bike kick in. I get green.
You've been good.
Yeah. Life has been good, man. So, side note, and I had said this in the rap, and I know the Popeye bar was cool. I had a couple other bars, but
all the bars.
I wanted to say this though, because this was my favorite bar that I wanted to say, and I just wanted to touch this because a lot of people listen to us, and they still got a little bit of time if they are in the Detroit area. We're gonna be in Detroit, August 13th to the 15th, telling jokes, man. You excited about this?
I'm very excited, man. Go home, back to Detroit, get a chance to see the people. And is this your first time in Detroit?
Yes. I don't know that I've ever been to, and if I did, it was probably just a spot show and I didn't get to do no traveling. What I'm concerned about, what places are you going to take me to eat? I want to go don't you worry about my diet. You let me deal with that.
Well, here's the thing, man. The first place you gotta go. Detroit has a million Coney Islands.
Okay, that's the hot dog place.
It's not just hot dogs. It's a whole bunch of deli stuff. But it's like every Coney Island tastes different. Okay. Number one. Number two, I'll take you to my favorite Coney Island, which is Grand River and Evergreen.
Okay.
Anyway, because I'm a West Side nigga. Shout out to the East Side. We're gonna be performing on the East Side,
but I'm a West
Side. Then you get this like the stuff that we have in stores. You got to try Faygo. You got to try Better Made. You got to try Verner's. You got to try if you haven't had White Castle. Like there's so many different things. Hungry Howie's. Yeah, man. But here's the interesting thing, dude. Okay. I wanted to say this about your bars. Your raps are so dope that people don't listen to anything else that you say.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
bars cold.
Yo, but there's always that one guy. I don't know if you see this one guy. One dude came on there and was like, all right, though, we get it. Switch the flow up. We need a new cadence. I was like, nigga, I'm writing a new verse every week.
To write 24 verses to one song is greater than any.
Bars, just bars. Oh, wait, verses. No, you're right. Because it's episodes, verses. I thought you were saying that no, you're right. I stand corrected.
Hey, man, it's all good. I don't want no smoke with Buddy Love. So everything that you've done is so fire, and you switched the flow up a million times.
Right.
That's an example of don't focus on the one dude when everybody's telling you love. The thing I'm focusing on is everybody listen to my impression is, do people literally press play, listen to the bars, and be like, that was a good episode?
Let me just go back.
What about everything else?
Niggas talked for another hour and 10 minutes, dropping gems.
That was good. All right, I'm
no,
back
but
over
this
here
is
with-
this is one thing that I will say though. If they do give me props on the bars,
yeah.
they be treating you like you Gandhi.
No.
Martin Luther Clayton, like
Now
Martin
that's gonna be a
CT.
Here's the thing, though.
He's so deep. I mean, he just so deep.
That jam. Everybody needs a friend like
You need a friend
CT.
like CT in your
But
life.
this, I'm talking about for you specifically. You'll rap fire, and I will go through the comments and they'll be like, "Yeah, that was a fire intro. Man, the bar is dope." I'm like, he said so much after this. What about his stories? What about his daughter? They're like,
What about his mental health improvement?
bars. Congrats on being sober. Nice bars.
I love it too, though, because you know me. I
Yeah.
really, in my mind, think I'm an MC. Like
You
I
are.
love rapping, and so it's a dope. For I'm glad that you're just such a dope co-host that you don't ever be tripping and just be like, you let me rap every episode. You be having just as much energy, except for that one energy with that one episode.
Oh, where we were.
You're like, yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, it was cool.
I'll beat your ass.
I was so angry. Here's the funny thing. So because one, it's not. Let me also. I don't let you rap. This is our show.
right.
It's
But
like,
you,
yo,
but you
I'm
know,
a
but you
fan.
don't ever give me any kickback on it. Like,
No.
I
Because
appreciate that.
I'm somebody that always goes for what the people want, bro. We got to keep a flow. We got to keep an energy. It's like, I love hearing the bars. It's like, oh my God, this guy's so talented. What I will say about you rapping is, I know you get in your head about when you rap seriously compared to like the confidence that you need to deliver when you do your non-jokey bars is the confidence you gotta have when you're doing your joke. I mean, when you're doing your jokey bars, the same one you gotta have when you're doing your non-jokey bars.
You're right.
Because when you over here talking about, yeah, and I get wings and lettuce and this and that, and I'm like, it's great compared to funny to me. And then when you do your real stuff, I'm like, this is incredible. But you don't give it that same confidence. And I'm like, dude, you're far greater.
That's what I'm trying to find. It's just like the way I be trying to find a way to be just as myself on stage as I am off stage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I go and do stand up, I'll be like, Subway cookies, but
Anybody like lettuce?
Single ladies, where you at? Like, but you know what I'm saying? But if you just hang out with me, so I'm just trying to find myself, and I feel like it's.
But it's that, bro. I tell you this, man. When we are in Detroit, we're gonna do some shows where if I see you doing it, I might come on stage.
Do it.
It's like when you up there, just talk to them like we talk right now. Because the audience, this is what audiences feel like. Audience, just like when they're watching the show, they feel like they're in here with us because it's a family. Like we kicking it. Same thing with stand-up. Stand-up audiences don't want what they see on TV. They want you to make it there for them that night because they came there for you that night. So it's like if you in there and you're like, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Oh, okay, cool. Nice shirt, bro. Wish I could wear that shirt.
So
You know what I mean?
I'm
Or
glad
whatever.
you said that. And I know we haven't even touched our docket yet, but who cares? This is our show.
Come on.
So we had the chance. So everybody at home, we had the chance. CTA hit me up one night. And it was so funny too because it was a random Saturday night. It's like, hey man, what you doing? And I'm like, man, I ain't doing it. What you doing around 9 o'clock? So in my mind, I'm like, man, he wants me to go with him somewhere. I'm figuring you got to perform, and I'm like, I'm absolutely gonna go. I'm like, hey man, whatever, man, I'll go. Come on, let's come get me. So he comes. He has a spot out at the Long Beach
Laugh Factory.
Yeah. And so I always love watching CT because he's just one of my favorite comedians. He's in my top 5 of everybody, not just of people I know. Like, he's just that good. And he was one of the first people that I knew doing comedy just way back. So I see him go up there and just, bro, your confidence. Let me tell y'all, he goes onto the stage and he literally grabs a stool and sit down. And so a bunch of people had gone before him or whatever. He was like, listen, man, I'm going to just let y'all know what's going to happen. I'm finna come up here. I'm finna be funny as fuck. Y'all gonna have a good ass time, and then we gonna get out here and just that's what it's gonna be. All right, y'all ready, Max Man? And people just started clapping. He goes on to murder the set for about 25. Like, I'm telling you, and it was a very diverse crowd, maybe 25% black folks. So you had a bunch of Asian, whites, just all different. Murders them. And then at the end, he was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know I had the best set of the night. You know what I'm saying? That's no secret here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the other comedians. It's nothing but love. I love everybody because you weren't shit on nobody. And then they were like, yeah. And I was like, I could only wish to have a fraction of that confidence because it wasn't arrogance.
No.
It was a man that was sure of himself in his place of business and work. And that's what I aspire to be. So just know that you're inspiring and teaching me without even saying it, because I watch more than I hear when I learn.
Yeah.
I can see what you're doing and be like, okay, that was, bro, I just want to let you know, that was just, because I've done comedy a million times. I ain't never, you know me, I'll go up there, so man, do you got a girlfriend? I do. I hate the bitch. Don't get off stage. Bitch, I'll leave. Bitch, I'll leave.
Oh,
No.
bro, first, thank you.
For sure.
That is one of the kindest things ever, man. You know what it is. And it's what you have when we're just talking. This is why I tell you, I'm like, bro, everything that you just said that I did, you have when we're just talking, right? And I've seen you around people. The thing about it on stage is there are very few things, and this is the reason I'm always giving credit and flowers to other people, because I'm so sure of myself and so confident within my own abilities. I don't compare myself to anybody. I'm not jealous of anybody.
You don't shit on people.
Yeah, I don't. It's like I don't get anything out of that. So when I see people doing it, I'm like, I can't be around that energy because they don't believe in themselves, right? It's like, for me, man, I'm sure enough that nobody can touch me. When I'm on that microphone, I'm not scared of anything. I finally get a chance to give myself to the people. If more people, and I was having this conversation with a brother in my comments a couple days ago, your confidence always offends people who don't have confidence. Always. Whenever you're sure about yourself, people hate that because they're not sure about themselves, and their go-to reaction. How dare you
be sure about yourself?
How dare you be sure about yourself? Arrogant. That's why this, that's why that. And you're like, all right.
And you just went up there and just crushed it. I was just like, man, I gotta get it together. So I already know, man. Just know, Detroit, when we come out there, it's gonna be crazy. Bring in the vibes. The energy is gonna be
I can't wait to see you get up there. When you get up there, bro, I want you to go, you know what, first show Friday, just go up and don't have maybe 5 things that you like, I'm going to say these jokes, but get up there and just talk to them about whatever, just like we're doing now. I ain't seen you in a week. You go up and you be like, yo, man. So I'm in a relationship. And speaking of which, Tony, bro. So I come over your crib Sunday before last. Tony cooks. Let me tell you something.
You were really pleasantly surprised by this.
Whatever bad things I've said about your lady before, I take back. That food was so good. She made ribs, chicken, hot links, hot dogs, mac and cheese, greens, corn. Was it cornbread?
Rolls. We had some of them Hawaiian rolls, yeah.
Bro, she was and it was so humble about it. I was like, you're so good. She was like, oh, thank you. I was so blown away because you don't see a lot of women who are under 35 know how to just destroy.
She did a thing. She side note, you absolutely undercut me in the conversation today in the group chat.
What happened?
We were in there. And she had sent so mind you, me and her were beefing, obviously. So we was arguing.
I got the vibe.
And so I said, yo, because I wake up, I was already in the bad mood. I'm like, yo, can you put together a docket? And she's like,
is that the face you made?
Yeah, can you put together a docket? And so she was like, yeah, okay. And so I'm thinking she's going to send it to me to kind of proof it before. I don't get nothing for 30 minutes, so I just start making a docket.
Okay.
And so then she's like, you're making a docket? And she was like, oh, do you not like the one that I made? I'm like, oh, you made one? And she was like, yeah, CT had already responded. So I'm like, well, let me go in here and look at it. And so I go in there and I'm like, no. Take this out. What podcast are you even watching? I'll do it. Never mind. So I hop back in there with you like, I'm redoing this. Don't worry. I'll get this done. Don't even worry about it, CT. You hit me back like, hey, man, I actually kind of like the stories that she had in there. I don't know what this is. That just
fire.
And I was just like, oh, okay. And so then I'm just looking at her. She's sitting over there with the I told you so face. And so I'm just sitting there like, yeah, all right, well, you know, me and CT had talked and we had came to a conclusion that we think this is... Bitch, I'll leave.
I'll leave. That's first and foremost. Here's the thing. So we're in a group chat, Tony, Doughboy, myself, his lady, Tony. And I look at the docket that was sent because we're in a group chat because she's the one that does the thumbnails. She's the one that will she'll come up with a title and then we'll both tweak it like, I don't like the title. So I'm thinking when she sent the docket, y'all had discussed this because the vibe of it was a lot of stuff that you would say and a lot of stuff that I'm like, so I'm like, let's go with these, right? Because I love the flow. And then you come in. I took a nap after this. I wake up, I see the new docket, and I was like, what's this? Right?
I didn't even want to change it. I just did one of the things she could do it without me signing off on it.
Oh,
I'm an asshole sometimes.
What were y'all beefing over, bro?
Nothing. It was just, we was just getting into it because, okay, I'll just say this. Okay.
Come on.
Okay. So, I had a pretty rough weekend, right? So I just had, because I'm emotional sometimes. And sometimes things trigger me and I'm just kind of upset. So I was just kind of upset and I was just, so I sent her this long text and so you think they're long to you. I mean, I send you soliloquies. I sent her a novel. That's just the scratch of the surface. That would be page 1 for her. So I sent her my life story of why I'm upset. And she's in there on the phone. So I'm in there. I'm just upset. I'm just in there, just in my feelings, right? And I sent her this long thing, right? So clearly she hasn't read it because she had turned her notifications off. So I'm in there and I'm all upset and stuff. And so she's like, so she calls me. And so she calls me from the other room. She was like, hey, are you okay? I'm like, no, but I'm in here and I'm in my feelings. You would know that if you check your phone. She was like, I didn't see no text. And so she comes in there. She still hadn't read it though. And so then she comes in there. She's like, you okay? And I'm just like, go read it. Like, nah. And so then she's just like, so she said in my face and she was like, she didn't sex like titties in my face. I'm like, you think titties can fix this? I'm talking about childhood trauma. So then I went in there and I tried to sleep on it. So then she finally goes and reads it. And then she comes in like, oh, baby, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, I'm going to sleep on the couch by myself. Obviously, you see my couch. It ain't really a good fit on that couch. So she's just like, you want to come in the room? I'm like, yeah. So then I wake up in the morning, but I wake up then, so I'm thinking it's over. And then I'm like, no, but I'm still mad. So then that's when I see that shit. And then that's when the fight started from there because we had never resolved what happened.
Gotta resolve it. The fact that she shook him in your face.
And of course I did it for a second like,
I'm still angry. Bro, we at the airport, Sandra, right? We at the airport. This is before the joint with the guy.
Right.
So she was like, I think I got that Coco 19. Coco 19. Because it sounds better than the Rona. So I think I got that Coco 19.
Nigga, that made me want to catch. I want that Coco 19.
She's like, I think because BT got it, right?
BT got it?
BT got that Coco, bro. So BT got that Coco. We checking on him daily. BT got that Coco, bro. So she's like, BT always be around. So she was like, I'm worried, that it's been like over a week because she went to his show a week and a half ago. And she's like, he said he feel bad. I think I got that Coco 19. We're in a line. I think I got that Coco 19. I said, shut up. I don't want to hear that. Right. I'm over here with you every day. You think I want to? So then she says, she's like, I woke up today in a cold sweat. I don't know if I can taste anything. I was like,
get off WebMD. Stop trying to self-diagnose yourself.
I grabbed a bag of Doritos because I had them in my bag from the hotel. I was like, here. And she was like, thank you, baby. But she didn't reach for the bag. So I'm like, I got the bag in my hand. And she was like, thank you. And I was like, I put it in my bag. I'm just annoyed. I'm like, why would you? I'm trying to solve your problem.
Right. Why don't
you don't want to reach for? And then she's like, you just don't know how I feel. I'm like, just eat the bag of chips. Let's see what's up. Instant gratification. So I'm just sitting. I'm quiet. And then I start to feel a little tug in my bag. And I'm like, what are you? And she's trying to get the chips.
Tell me you took them and threw them and crumpled them up.
I said, you can't have the chips.
It's chips off the table.
Baby, I'm sorry. Just let me get the chips. I'm like, you're not getting the chips. I mean, it's white people in the line looking at us and everything. I'm like, hey,
principle
man,
at this point.
It's principle now. I tried to help you. Now sit there with that Coco. Is what I'm thinking. So then she's sitting there looking pitiful, and I grabbed the chips. I'm like, here. She's like, ooh, they smell good. I'm like, okay, well, if you can smell, you can taste. That's number one. She tastes them. She's like, these are good. I'm like, stop being dramatic. Hold on a second. Oops. But interestingly enough, man, you had wrote something that I do want you to talk about. This is
hold on 1 second, because I don't know if you see this, sir. Can I get that box of tissue? I'm over here. It's happening. I'm over here.
Can you open the door? Actually, I don't know if we can get a little crack. But the interesting thing is, we had a conversation. Is it okay for a woman to support a man financially?
Let's have that conversation.
What do you think?
I think that it is.
Mhm.
I think that, because we were basing this off of that text thread that
Yeah.
that was going on. I think that men do it all the time,
Mhm.
and I think that this might be controversial, but for as much as women say they want equal rights and
Mm.
they want to be a level playing field. Yes, because you know what I'm saying. Sometimes the paths aren't always straightforward to success. So I do believe now. I thank God that I'm in a position right now that I can kind of put some things together, but it wasn't always like that.
Mhm.
Like what I'm
Mhm.
saying. So I would have loved to say maybe circa 2009 to 2012,
Mhm.
where it was real bleak for me and I wasn't doing much, to have a woman that could have just been there like, hey, you just sit, you focus, you get that done,
Mhm.
and I got this. So I definitely think that it is okay. What are your thoughts on that?
First thought, mind you, in the house, saw my mother, saw my older sister, both of these women, mothers, working hard. My mom worked 2 jobs. My sister would work her job. And I saw them date guys, right? I would see my mom date these guys who had money. And then I would see how the relationship goes, right? Because here's another thing. When women have their own money, a lot of opinions come out.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna say that, okay? We'll get back to that. Just put a pencil on that.
Strong ones.
However, but then I saw my mom give a chance to this one specific guy. He didn't have any money, right? But he was a hardworking dude, and he worshipped the ground my mom walked on.
But he didn't have no money, and he was hardworking. What was he hardworking on?
Well,
that just don't make sense. He's very hardworking, but he has no money.
What I mean by that is he didn't have the money that she had.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
He had enough money to take care of himself.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I
Okay.
think he was he used to work with his hands, like mechanic type stuff.
Gotcha.
And he, didn't have the money that my mom had to do the things that she wanted to do, that she was accustomed to doing. Hey, let's go out to dinner here. Not so much as go buy me a Gucci purse, but like, hey, let's go to dinner here, or let's go over to this place. And it would be these things where he's like, he couldn't afford it, so we just can't go. Like, it wouldn't be I don't have the money, can you do it? It would just be, no, I can't do that shit. We ain't going. And it would be like, as a kid, I'm seeing this, I'm like, I don't think she's happy about this, right? So then my mom was like, okay, how do I do this thing to where I still continue to keep him feeling as a man in his position without feeling emasculated, but still doing the things that I'm accustomed to, right?
Interesting.
So, and of course, he wasn't a good dresser either. My mother loves to dress.
He had the money, so
He
unfortunately, it's
taste
you
don't
kind of
come,
gotta have it, right?
So, I remember her buying him a couple outfits, right? And she bought him a couple outfits. His confidence is through the roof, right? And she'd be like, yeah, hey, why don't you let me treat you to this place? And he's like, like reverse psychology type thing.
Right.
And he was cool, but then he hated it. Like, no, the man is supposed to do this and the man is supposed to do that. And I remember growing up being like, you stupid motherfucker. Like,
right.
Yes, the man in whatever culture you're from or are believing or subscribing to is supposed to do these things. However, if you can't do these things and your queen can, let her do this until you're able to, or help her teach you how you can do these things, right? I'm always going to support a strong woman being able to teach a strong man, or be able to teach in general for you to be able to raise him to her level.
Right.
He couldn't face that because he wanted to be this, I'm the man, we do what I say, we do what I do.
Society predicates that for you to feel like that about yourself.
Yes. And I made a vow as a kid. I'm like, not only am I never going to be that, but I'm going to try and ride the wave of a woman tricking on me forever is what I was thinking. So every woman that I dated, and unfortunately, because, when you start a new career, you start stand up. I didn't have any money, and I would be honest with women, unlike guys who don't have money and try and act like they have money. I would tell every girl, look, I ain't got no bread. At whatever time in my life, I'm like, look, I got 3 roommates, no car. I'm on the bus.
This is what it is.
What's up? And 10 out of 10 times, they'd be like, thank you for being honest. I can work with that, because so many guys lie about that.
But do you think that, because I see that this happens a lot, and I'm actually watching a show right now. You should watch it, called Dirty Betty. First it was Dirty John, then it was Dirty Betty. But okay, do you think that this happens a lot in relationships? Do you feel like whoever is doesn't have the money in the beginning, right?
Mhm.
So like let's just say for instance you and Tangerine are dating, right? Let's just say in the beginning you don't have money, and she does, right?
She did.
And then let's just say once you do all the things to get to the point that now you're a super millionaire, now your income exceeds hers. Do you think that person will always like sometimes like treat the other person like trash after that happens? Because I see that happens time and time again, and I think that it has to be more. Like, do you think that the breadwinner sometimes, especially if it comes from a unique dynamic like that, will just be like, well, now I'm going to do it the way that I want to do it, and maybe the way that you feel isn't as important? Because I see that happen a lot more.
Oh, you mean when the roles reverse?
Right.
Now
it's like you're super humble. Like, Then when you get that money, like, shut up.
Right. Ooh, I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Because I see that happen a lot.
I do see that a lot. So, as we've talked a million times before, when she had the money, she never made me feel like less of a man.
Okay.
And when I was able to be blessed, I didn't make her feel as less of a woman. I had one get back time where I looked at her like, because she had said something sideways to me once, and I said the reverse. Right. But it was never a disrespect thing on either end. But I do see that a lot, and I think that comes from people who, they always say the dog that bites the hand that feeds him. It's like, you've always wanted to bite that hand. So whether or not this person switched roles with you or not,
you had a fixation on biting it.
Yeah, you were going to bite no matter what. So that's just a person.
See, and I think that, and I never, like, in all the things that I ever really talk about, I very rarely, reference my relationship with my daughter's mom, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you don't?
Yeah, but, I got nothing but love for her. You know what I'm saying? We're super cool, and, like, that's literally one of my best friends.
I want to meet her.
Yeah, you should. She's a super cool individual. But the thing is...
I smash and get a baby, though. Hey, no, but we Eskimo brothers.
So this is the thing, though. I think that the reason why our relationship didn't make it was because she was thinking like the old school way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when when Kiara was born, like, you know what I'm saying, I had been rapping for years, hadn't really took off. And so I started doing comedy seriously when Kiara was born. And so it was a small window where I was just like, yo, I'm going to start doing this. This is really what I want to do. But her mind was always on some old school, you know what I'm saying? The man's got to, provide. And even though she was working, like, she has a good job to this day, great job, making good money. And she was like, come get a good job with me because that's what a man is supposed to do to provide. But I'm like, no, I got this idea to go be something else. And I think that the way that she kind of looked at the world stopped us from being together. And I think that happens a lot in relationships because of the roles that society's puts on us.
So not in defense of your child's mother, but in this particular situation, because I see this a lot with people who go into entertainment or things that are not traditional.
Right.
She knew you before you got into the business.
Right.
So for her, she didn't sign up for that doughboy. She signed up for Anthony.
Right.
So in that situation, it's like, hey man, I do wish that you become the doughboy that you're going to be in 12 years.
But I know you as this guy.
I signed up for this dude that works at this job.
And I was working jobs back then.
Exactly. So that's what she signed up for. So unfortunately, there are a lot of relationships where women and men sign up for who they get. And then in the middle of that relationship, the person's like, I want to do music. And it's like, hey.
Your bars ain't even that high.
And they're not trying to stick around until they get high. You know what I mean? So for that's that. But for every other relationship, I think that there are a lot of people who saw things growing up and they want to mirror that in their now relationship. And that's not okay. I'm not going to look for a woman that's just like that was what when my mom and sister were like when I was a kid, because that's unrealistic. Right. Just like women like, I want my grandparents had, like, listen, baby girl, your granddaddy had a girlfriend. Surprise.
Yeah, you just didn't know about
You just didn't know. So don't
side babies
wish
all
for that.
over the city.
Come on, man.
You got siblings you don't know about.
You wondering why y'all look alike, everybody telling you. Y'all
that's
look
my
alike.
Twin, literally, bitch. Literally.
Literally.
Well, hey, man, he's giving us a sign. This has, I know we had other stuff on this docket that we were supposed to get to, but this is, I will say this. And
wait,
I know,
2 more, bro. You're going to love this. Trust me.
Okay.
So, one, this the dope. When the guy proposes to the girl, she says no.
On TikTok, yeah. So, okay, let me break it down to people.
Please.
Brother, man, so the first video is a TikTok thing, and y'all can just look it up. Guy proposes to a woman. She says no. He looks heartbroken, like somebody just drowned his goldfish.
Ooh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He is just going through it, right? And so then he shows another video. 30 days later.
Drowned his girl.
You just got the So then he has another one where he bought her a car 30 days later. She comes out, takes the car like, oh, this is for me. And you could tell that she basically takes his car. And the question that I pose, who is the worst individual? Him for giving her a car after she said no, or her for taking it?
Him, no doubt. He's a simp. See, because of your past transgressions, you can't see through the unsimplified goggles, my brother. It is for me to deliver you through the promised land. See, here's the thing, man. She said no. Yes, it hurts. It hurts. You want her to be your queen. You want her to be your wife. She said no, bro. You buying her a gift is not going to change her saying no. And if it does, that means she's only with you for one reason, and that's not love in the first place. So the fact that he got her the car, it's like, are you trying to get a green car, fam?
I can't give you that, because the majority of these long marriages, right?
Yep.
How do those stories always start, right? They always start pretty much the same way. The woman's always saying, oh, well, he tried to get him in. I wasn't trying to give him the time of day at all. And he was so persistent. In hindsight, it sounds like the guy's a stalker, but when they say it, it's just like, he wouldn't give up. He da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So that's what men start to get in their mind. Like, if I want to get a woman, if I work hard enough, if I do enough to show her enough, then I can get her. So then you got this guy who is, now if you want me to ask, if you're asking me who's the worst individual, it's absolutely this woman. Because why don't you stand on some principles, ma'am? Why don't you stand on some, you know what, if I'm not going to rock with this nigga, a car ain't going to change that. You filling up my bank account ain't going to change that. I don't want you because I don't want you. Now, if you start to give me something, that shows that you have compromised morals. And that's even worse than being a simp in my book, because if you're a simp, you're just looking for love in the wrong places. But if you have displaced morals, that just means that you're piss poor inside and you're just like, oh, give me whatever. Even though you know you just broke this man whole heart in 1,000 pieces. You know you don't like the nigga. You know you ain't trying to be with him at all. But if it suits you better in the moment, then you'll go ahead and do it. I just have such a low level of respect.
She's definitely a horrible person.
Yeah,
she also didn't say thank you. That's my big
and then got in the car, didn't even open the door, like she was going to drive off without him.
Where's the paper that says like, my name? That is mine.
This is mine.
I hated that. She's a horrible person, but I need you to focus on the fact that you can't buy her. Yeah, it's a difference between persistence, let me get her, and let me buy her a car to buy her love, which still isn't going to work. They're both wrong. I hate her. I'm just disappointed in him.
Okay, I think that she is the much worse individual than him. I think he's just a guy that's just looking for love.
God bless you, boy.
Sometimes you make bad decisions when you do that. All right, last story. Which one is it?
How do you deal with? Should it be the one about the kid dating with the kids, or should it be about the guy that is it dating when you have kids, or the meaningless fling? Let's do that.
Meaningless fling. Okay, so we have a question that says, if you are in a healthy, long-term relationship or marriage for over 2 years, because I just want to give it some type of parameters,
all right,
do you come clean about a meaningless fling? Okay, now I want to take the lead on this one.
Please.
Absolutely, you come clean. You know why?
What?
Because there can be whatever foundation you lay in your garden is what you are going to reap. If you reap it full of lies, like you can't go out and think that you're going to put out a bunch of seeds of BS and that it's going to give you a fruitful return.
True.
So if you start it off and you're like, and my biggest thing is, love conquers all. Be honest. Like, I've had to come, even in my current relationship, I've done some stupid nut shit. You know what I'm saying? I've had to come back and be like, look, or I've had thoughts of doing some dumb stuff. I had to just come and be like, listen, this is what it is. Because I'm like this. I would rather lose you with the truth than keep you with a lie. I can't keep this lie up. I'm gonna run myself tired and exhaust myself. So if I had enough wherewithal to do it, to try to get away with it, to try to keep it concealed, I can stand on two, you know what I'm saying? Just be like, you know what? This is what I did. This is where my mind was when I did it. And if it's meaningless, I can say that. Like, look, it ain't like I'm out here trying to marry the chick, but listen, I had a moment of weakness. I wish I wouldn't have did it. Here's my course of action to move forward, and then hope that she's going to want to still deal with me. Because if I sit here and just keep it away from her, eventually she's going to end up finding out. And that's when women snap. That's when women start busting your windows, because they're trying to externally make you feel what they feel internally. And I don't want to do that to nobody.
Smooth.
So that's how I feel. I feel like just let them know. What do you feel like?
I feel like
you taking this to the grave, Nick?
No, Tangerine is much smarter than me, and it's unfortunate because, and not on paper, but it's unfortunate or on the streets. But she's smarter than me in a situation where she knows my behaviors and she knows my next moves and when something ain't right. So I can't lie about it. So it's like I'll come in the crib, she'll be watching. Why is it when you cheat, your girl is always doing something sweet for you when you walk in the house?
Baking you a whole pumpernickel loaf.
She just knitted you a blanket. Hey, I'm almost done. Let me just snap the Band-Aid off, baby girl. So I'm gonna say, because she's such a cool woman and she's down to, like, she's not who you think she is. She's much more savvy and mature than given credit. So it's like, you be like, hey, this is what it is. It's not gonna be, I'm gonna kill everybody. It's just like, thank you for being honest, as opposed to me hearing about this some other way.
But I will say this, and we can end on this. It is an acquired taste, though, because I have dealt with women that say, just don't let me find out.
Don't let me find out.
Do whatever you do in the streets. Don't bring it home to me. No,
God bless them.
No babies, no rabies.
Yeah.
So yes, this has been another installment of the Justice League.
Episode 24.
Episode 24. We got to do something special for 25.
25. What can we do?
What are we going to do?
We'll talk about it.
Because
it's going to be Friday. Ladies and gentlemen.
I have been Doughboy.
CT.
This has been another episode of Justice League Podcast. This was literally my favorite.
This is dope, man.
This is the one.